one thing is money is a big part of a relationship. As much as you don't want it to be, is how your partner manages money, how he values money, how he takes money. It all adds up to like your future.
This is the Pressed Hotline. Okay, guys, so we're going to move on to the hotline. What has our Peaches pressed this week? But before we do that, I do want to say, Peaches, it is a WhatsApp. So we are asking for visual dilemmas now. So when you're sending in what has you pressed, you can do a little video. We actually want to see what you look like, what your hair's like, what your clothes is like, what your lips, nose, what your accent is like. So yeah, send us some visuals if you want. Obviously, if you don't, no pressure. But, you know, let's just get a bit closer. But yeah, we're going to move on to the first hotliner. Hey, AP and Maz. So here is my dilemma. My boyfriend and I have a shared bank account which we put a decent chunk of savings into every pay cycle because we're saving up for a house. I'm pressed because he takes money out of the account, usually when he goes out, without communicating with me, even though he puts it back, usually within a week or sometimes without me even noticing. We've discussed it before, and ideally I prefer the money not to be touched unless of any real emergency. His argument is that it's also his money and that he puts it back anyway. My questions are, is a shared account a good idea to begin with, and am I tripping for feeling disrespected by him by doing this? Love you both.
That's a good one. We haven't had like something this serious
this
before.
This is a good one.
Okay, your thoughts first and I'll give you mine.
So my thoughts first is kind of slightly depends how long you've been together.
Yeah.
But I do say feel like it's good because it kind of teaches you how that person is with money. Like, for example, some people are, if I put money in my savings account, I am not touching it. The money doesn't exist to me. Whereas some people can have a savings account and like, well, it's saved money. If I need it, I can go in it quickly and then it's okay, I'll put it back. And to them, that's fine. So I feel like having the discussion probably would have been better before you actually set up that account to be like, what's your thoughts on that? And then you can have the boundaries set.
Yeah.
But he's probably used to like, if I put money away, if I really need it, I'll go into it rather than, I don't know, he probably obviously doesn't have the money in his main.
Yeah.
Why would I go into my minus and get charges if I've got money tucked away somewhere and then I'm going to put it back when I get the money?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like two different views. I feel like for me that will kind of like mentally note, I'll be like, I don't think you're good with money.
Yeah, and is it mad that you kind of always want your boyfriend or your husband
to be
better than you? Like I see it as, first of all, like it's good to start saving young because I'm expecting they're a bit young, like they're saving for a house, and that's really good goals. But something like a house, if I have a partner, that's just something we both know we're not touching. Like, for us to touch it, it actually means it's an emergency. Like, it's not something that's that easy and just be taking it without noticing. Because then that makes me question, like, is this how you're going to be like with other things that... I know when you're in a relationship, you're meant to be half and half, you share, do you know what I mean?
But you're meant to see it as one.
You're still, but still, communication, it's like, it's even like friendship, like, I'll still ask you, oh, babe, can I borrow this? Even though you're most likely going to say yes, you might not even notice if I borrowed it. It's still kind of that respect. It's just a respect level to show that I respect you.
Or at least a heads up, like, babe, I'm gonna take £200 from a saving because I'm going out. Sorry, I'm a bit low, but I'm gonna put it back at this date. And even though you might be upset with it, the communication is nice. The whole like, but it's my money and I put it away, is kind of like you're separating it. And if that's how you want it to be, you set up your own savings account with your personal bank.
Yes, that you can go in and out.
And you go and save, and I'll set my personal savings account with my bank, and then let's say it's next year, let's all bring our 10k together when we're ready to buy the house, and we'll buy the house. You don't have to have it together because clearly you don't see it as a partnership.
Exactly. And on top of that, imagine if both of them were moving like that. How would they ever get to tally? That's how things get lost. And that's how I think it gets too laid back.
Yeah.
You know, once you start dipping and you know you can and can't, it kind of starts to lose track. And then when that starts to lose track, that affects the relationship. And one thing is, money is a big part of a relationship.
Yeah.
As much as you don't want it to be, is how your partner manages money, how he values money, how he takes money. It all adds up to like your future. So I don't think she's mad for how she's feeling. I think
what would you do in that situation?
I would talk to, I've had a similar situation though, because I've obviously been in a long-term relationship. So we'd had like plans for the future. We've done stuff together, like commitments wise. So, but it's never been like that. But if it's someone just goes in, once I feel like, I don't like the idea of that. Like, if I always make it clear, if we're starting something together, you can't touch it. Like, I started the business with one of my partners, and even with the business at that time, it was evident, like, no matter what is made in, it's not for me and you. It's like a future thing. Like, I don't see that as something I can touch at all. Like, it's either reinvestment or it's just piling up. So
like, let that money go.
Yeah,
once you put it
exactly.
In. If you know that money is a stretch to you, don't put it in the account. So if it's like your last bit that you're already going to be managing, cut it out. Rather you put in less than having to keep going in and out of it. So maybe have a discussion about how much you guys are saving away. Maybe he's overestimating how much he can commit to.
Because I get it. Because don't you think it is nice to see it in the account? Like, you can see it physically. Because like, I think for me, moving how I would want to like be in whatever relationship I have, I just have my, I say I've got my 10k, 20k, whatever saved. That's towards either my house, if I decide to buy by myself, or if I'm at a stage where I actually want to use that to buy with my partner, he will know vocally, like, I have savings for a house. Do you have savings for a house? How much do you think you have? This is how much I have. Let's put all of this together, put yours together, and we can add this much to make it, but this can't be touched. So communication is key. Just to be honest with him. And if he moves weird about it, I would think he'll be the type of man that wants to kind of have a bit more control with the money, even if you're both putting it in. He gives me that.
Yeah, and I feel like if he's moving a bit, not
like it's mine too. With it,
maybe because sometimes in some relationships, some people are better at certain things than others. So maybe it might have to be a whole different setup. Like, maybe you have that account and he doesn't have access to that account or something, and he sends you the money. Once he sends it to you, he has no access to actually getting it.
I bet he won't like that.
He probably won't like that, but it's like there needs to be a way of
both feeling she needs to feel comfortable too.
So yeah.
Oh wow, what an interesting one.